to stop a dynasty demands an act of defiance. Because without it, there is no hope.
Let's fight to the end, baby. Let's do it.
556. Caution as David Rudiman spins it around. Look out, can everybody get through?
All right, David, get it going. It hit square on the rear end, but the 18 just run right over us.
Well, you hear David, or the spotter, talking about Kyle Busch. He was 11th at the time. Watch how close this gets. There's Carl Edwards passed safely.
As he's sliding down the racetrack here, you have to really slow down and see Jimmie Johnson all the way on the bottom side of the apron to get by.
Still there. He wrecked himself. Keep coming. There will be a caution.
Under our third caution here at Kansas Speedway, the 00 of David Rudiman, contact with the 18 of Kyle Busch. And if you remember earlier in the race, Kyle tapped the back of Rudiman, and
Rudiman got the worst of it, but Kyle did get some damage on that left rear. Yeah, I think he probably has a little bit of damage on the right rear also, where he might have got that into the wall.
It's killed. The car is destroyed. My steering wheel knocked a quarter of the turn off. He bent the rear end housing. He bent the truck arm. He bent everything.
one more look. This from the rear.
Oh, yeah. Well, he did hit that wall on the outside, too.
I have a serious problem with what just happened. And I don't think anybody in the tower is going to do a damn thing about it. And if they don't, then we'll have a meeting afterwards.
We'll just focus on our stuff here. We'll get the best we can. Crew chief told them he better start wrecking people or he'd quit. So there's a big problem. But all we can do is control what we can control at this point.
Well, that's a conversation in Kyle Busch's pits, and now Kyle back on pit road. Here's what they're going to try to do. Now, Dave Rogers gave Kyle the option. We can go to the garage area and replace the rear end housing. We'll lose maybe 30 to 40 laps. Or you can come on to pit road. We'll put jack stands under, which is what they're doing right now. We're going to lengthen the trailing arm, lengthen the track bar in the back of the car, and try to get it as close as we can. Now, it's still not going to be good. He said if you limp around here, we come on and off pit road 3 or 4 times, we may lose 5 laps. That would minimize our points loss here in the chase. So right now they're going to try to fix it as best they can by lengthening the trailing arm, putting him back on the racetrack, guys, and hope he can limp around and maybe stay as close as he can to the top 20.
That 16 is Greg Biffle. He led the most laps here last year and finished 3rd because of a late 4 tire call. They're not changing their philosophy. They're going with 4 again today. They believe they've got the car to win it. We're going to find out here over the course of the final 25 laps or so. Well, the 16 of Greg Biffle's had a terrific day today, and it's just exactly what they needed. Crew Chief Greg Irwin told me this morning, we really need to deliver today, and everybody on this team knows it. And by deliver, he didn't mean top 10. They knew top 10 wasn't going to be good enough after finishing 17th at Loudon and 19th at Dover. They needed a win, a top 3 finish. Looks like they're going to get it today unless disaster strikes in the late stages. Doc?
Likewise, Vince, Tony Stewart needed a top 5 for a victory. He may get the win, definitely should get the top 5. The kind of run they were looking for today to get back in the chase.
Chad Knaus, the crew chief for Jimmie Johnson, told me this morning last week's win told everybody else we're not taking this championship lightly. And the performance of this team over the wall and by the driver is proving that right now, running 3rd, the best it's been, Vince.
Kevin Harvick in the 29 has been really good on the long runs today. Unfortunately, this last stint isn't going to be a long run. Kevin hasn't been all that unhappy with his car today, but he hasn't been too pleased with his pit crew, feeling like they haven't gained him anything on pit lane. Dave?
You know, there was a phrase coined in our rehearsal today by Brad Doherty. It was today or nay for Matt Kenseth. It's been kind of in between. He'll have a top 10 run, but the car has just been loose for him at the end of the race here, and not as much yay as nay today, Jamie.
And Jeff Gordon's car not where he wants it to be right now, although they are better and they had a great stop. They expected to strike here. This is their opportunity. They said if they didn't finish top 3 today, they would be disappointed.
It's Biffle, Johnson, Harvick, Stewart, Edwards, and Gordon. And Gordon's not finished yet. He's going to try the high side.
We can see really jump in the throttle there. Jeff Gordon trying to take that spot away.
Down the backstretch. What it's also allowed is Tony Stewart has opened up some ground in front of both of these guys. There you can see the margin up to Tony.
Whoa, Carl's loose.
Oh, so close. He has to get out of it. Gordon takes the spot. He's now in 5th. Here it comes.
White flag right here, buddy. One more time. Hit your mark.
It is Ford, followed by 4 Chevrolets, then 3 more Fords, and 2 more Chevrolets in the top 10. They have dominated between those 2 marks. For Biffle, he is looking for his 16th Cup win in his 287th start. He is one of those guys that has won at Kansas before. And it looks like he's going to do it again as he comes out of turn number 4. The winner of chase race number 3, Greg Biffle, his 7th chase win. Second place looks like it's going to be Jimmy Johnson, but here's the best battle as Gordon and Edwards going for the stripe. Who's going to get the spot? It'll be Jeff Gordon taking home 5th place. Now the battle for 10th. Allmendinger again having a great run.
Yeah, he made a great pass there coming out of turn 4 on Jamie McMurray to get that 10th spot.
Denny Hamlin you see in 12th, Kurt Busch in 13th. Mark Martin, Clint Boyer comes back for 15th, although that's not going to be enough to really help.
There, guys. That's perfectly executed. Awesome. By the 3M16 team. Awesome, guys.
This was the exchange. Coach Joe Gibbs was trying to calm his driver down as Kyle walks straight to the hauler.
I think we're 50 laps in the race, and he just, drives in the back of us and wrecks us. There hadn't been any problems before that, during the race. So don't exactly know what happened. All I know is the end result was we got a car tore up, and we had a really, really good car today. So everybody puts too much time and effort in these things to just have something like that happen. I mean,
put ourselves in the chase and to have the opportunity to try to go after a championship and to have it end up, something like that today. The guy was loose, said it on the radio. He slid up off the bottom, and I got into him unintentionally and just spun him out. My fault, 100%. But then the retaliation. I mean, to a guy that's in the chase, that's racing for something, and he'll be here next year. He could have wrecked me in any of the first 26 races next year. That would have been fine.
Ford has been right there, gave us a lot of support. I feel good. Jax gave us everything we need. Greg called a great race today. The guys did a great job on pit road. And, I was just reluctant to tighten the car up a lot of the race. I was too loose. Couldn't keep up with the 14. Finally, I just started cranking some wedge in that thing, and, it started sticking the back of the car, and that's what I needed.
Feels good. It's where we want to be. Hopefully we can keep doing things right and keep collecting points. It's too early to be excited about the points lead, but it sure is a lot better than being 12th right now.
The car's been great all weekend. We didn't qualify great, but that's not anything out of the ordinary for us. But our cars run really well in race trim, and today it just drove straight to the front, and we were able to get out there and lead some laps and felt like we probably had a car capable of winning, but just lost a little too much ground there at the end.
I just couldn't take off on restarts. I couldn't get going, in traffic. My car kind of sat up on top of the track and took a little bit to go, but we'd get about 10 laps into it and it'd be fast.
Behind, lost some track position, and we really struggled there. And the race started really good for us, but we just need to get the car tightened up.